Knock knock.
Who's there?
Nerd.
Ah! Oh no. You know who else is a nerd? It's Blake!
Akira!
Welcome to What a Nerd! What a fun intro.
Alright, well, my name is Blake,
And I'm Kira.
and this is What a Nerd.
Yep, it's a podcast hosted by us. And Blake is a nerd, and I'm not.
That's false. That is 100% incorrect.
That's not true. It has to be 50% incorrect if we're both nerds.
Wait, so we're
From
both
science.
we're just 50% of a nerd?
No, it's just anyway. Yeah, so today we're gonna introduce ourselves and just kind of set up for what this podcast is and what it'll be about.
Share some fun facts.
Yeah, facts are fun.
Alright,
Okay,
so the first question, what is your full name?
my full name is Kira Shea Griffith. What your full name?
Blake Samuel Saunders, and my initials are the worst in the world because it's just BS.
And then when you want to do your middle,
It's
BSS.
It's BSS.
So it's just even more. That's great. Great for you. So, Blake, when is your birthday?
My birthday is April 15th, 2001. Fun fact, I'm born on tax day. So my mom always calls me her little tax deduction. But I was also born on Easter morning.
Love that for you.
When's your birthday?
My birthday is April 2nd, 1630. I'm really old. I just sound beautifully young. I was actually born in 2000. But yeah, April 2nd, my due date was April 1st, and I was born a day late, thank God, because I would have been made fun of my whole life, and nobody would have believed me. I'd say, today's my birthday, and they'd be like, haha, April Fool's, right? They'd be like, no, it's actually my birthday.
So you were almost a joke?
I was almost a joke, and now I'm just a joke born a day late. So Blake, tell me about yourself. What's your favorite color?
My favorite color is blue. And I don't really know why, but I mean, it's the color of the sky, and the sky's always blue.
You know, that's true. Unless it's cloudy. Or if it's tornado-y, then it's like blue-green.
Welcome to Missouri.
Welcome to Missouri.
What's your favorite color?
My favorite color is pink. Not like hot pink, like a good light pink. And then, I just like it. I don't know why. And then, honorable mention, maroon. I like maroon.
Yes, go Bears.
Go Bears. Yeah, university colors. And then, just, it's a good color. It's not quite red, but it's red. And we love reds. So, yeah, that's the sitch.
Like, the journey of your life, who do you think has inspired you the most?
That is a difficult question because I think I've been inspired by a lot of different people in a lot of different ways. Like as a creator who, is creating things, I've been really inspired by like musicians that I grew up listening to, like Ben Folds. And then, from like a production standpoint, like I really looked up to Rooster Teeth a lot and like what I've been doing lately. And then, I don't know, I just had some fun mentors growing up. And, like, definitely my martial arts instructors, they just, for, like, all the different training that I did throughout the years, I think they prepared me for a lot of life stuff. Mm. So, yeah, I think that's a good handful of people offhand I can think of. What about you?
My parents are super awesome, and they've encouraged me a lot, like, as I've done this transition. I'm a freshman in college, by the way, and Kira's a sophomore, but
yes.
My parents have really encouraged me and through this transition into college, and I think that they're really awesome, and I love them so much. I have also been inspired by my brother. He's shown me a lot of great things in my life, and like he's just been really there for me and like supported me in like a lot of different ways. And so I
love that. We stand parents. I love my parents too.
Now, what is your favorite place to eat chicken?
That one's hard. I mean, it also is like a depends thing because I feel like I enjoy chicken served in so many different ways. Like, you know, my first instinct is like, ooh, what are the places I went to get like katsu in Tokyo? I've been to Tokyo. But you know, in the US, it's hard to narrow down.
I mean, it doesn't have to be the
know.
US. You could say like your favorite place in Japan.
But I don't even know if I could narrow it down there. It's hard for me to pick a favorite chicken restaurant because there's so many different ways.
Okay, well then name a few.
To serve chicken.
Name a few.
Well, there's this one restaurant. I'll just talk about this one restaurant real quick. There's this restaurant in Shinjuku called Brooklyn Parlor. They had chicken, and it was great. It was great chicken. And then they had a lot of stuff. I had a quiche there. That was, like, really good. Some fish and chips. That's good. But, yeah, everything there was good. I like their chicken a lot. It was just like, man, that's good chicken, you know? Mm-hmm. What about you? What about you, Blake?
Okay, so surprisingly, the first time I've ever been to Raising Cane's Chicken was like a couple weeks ago. And I drove, it was spontaneous. Me and my friend Lauren, I texted her, I was like, it was like a Saturday morning, and I was like, hey, do you want to drive to Arkansas with me to get Raising Cane's Chicken? And she was just like, you know what, let's do it. Let's just be impulsive. And so we drove 2 hours down to Arkansas and went to Raising Cane's Chicken for the first time. And it is the best chicken that I've ever had, I think.
I've actually never had Raising Cane's, despite growing up near one. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean,
it's really good.
where all are there Raising Cane's? I don't assume that
into
they're all over
Springfield.
the country. I mean, yeah, let us know in the comments if you have a Raising Cane's in your region. Because
Yes.
now I'm curious where all is Raising Cane's anyway. I certainly don't know.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good, supposedly. I've never had it. So, Blake, what's something in your life that you would just rate 10 out of 10? You absolutely love it.
100% perfection. Why? If I'm rating something 10 out of 10, I'm going to assume that I couldn't live without this because it's a 10 out of 10. So I'm going to say that my 10 out of 10 is Dungeons and Dragons. I love Dungeons and Dragons so much. I'm a massive nerd. I will admit. Sirens going off. I'm a massive nerd.
Nerd alert.
Nerd alert.
I'm a nerd.
I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons for 4 or 5 years now. I started when I was a freshman in high school, and one of my really good friends introduced it to me, and I've just never stopped. I probably has 8 to 10 sets of dice somewhere strewn around either
Yep.
my dorm or my house and hidden in nooks and crannies and
Sounds about right.
all of that. What about you? What's your 10 out of 10?
This one's a no-brainer for me. Definitely Avatar: The Last Airbender. To this day, since it premiered 15 years ago, it's just my favorite show, and it's definitely a huge part of what inspired me to go into the creative industry and get into writing and making music and doing sound stuff, and especially writing and story development, though. It's just definitely a huge inspiration for me, and it's just something that I can watch over and over and over and over again and absolutely never get tired of, ever.
It's a great show. We still have to watch the 4-part finale.
We do.
I've never seen it all the way through
Yeah,
before,
we've been
and
watching
I'm
through it.
loving it. It is
This guy
so good.
is just now watching it. We got 4 episodes left, series finale. You know.
Well, I'll let you know how it went in the next video.
Yes.
Kira, what's one skill in life that you wish you could just master? Like you're just perfect at it.
Man, see, that's hard. I think for me, already being somebody who's really into martial arts, if I could just absolutely master a martial art, like I have my first degree black belt in Okinawan Kenpo, if I could become a complete master of that, or even something I haven't really done much of, like some type of kung fu, I just think that would be so cool to be like a true master. It'd be so cool. What about
That's
you?
awesome. I kind of just like figured this out today. I really love 3D animation, and like a lot of the shows that I watch now are like kind of like a mix of 2D and 3D animation. And I also love like the whole audio editing thing. And if I could, I would just do the electronic arts program as a whole and do all the sections.
Oh,
but
yeah.
yeah, just like, being well-rounded. But I wish I could be a expert in Maya, which is just like a big 3D animation software that a lot of companies use. If you've ever seen the show Lost in Space on Netflix, they use Maya to animate all of their robots, and I think that's really,
Yeah.
really cool.
And if you're into animation and you're a student, students actually get it free for like 3 years.
Yes, just found that out today.
If you are remotely in the creative industry and you're a student, please do yourself a favor and check out like all the student discounts that people
Yes.
have, because I didn't realize how many there were and how kind some of these people are to broke
Yes.
college kids like us. So yeah, check those out.
Also,
There's
if you
a
just
lot.
like want to experiment with like 3D modeling even, Blender is a great application to get started with. The user interface is really friendly. I learned how to do it in probably 3 months' time when I was at my internship at STA, which was really, really fun.
Man, what a couple of nerds we are. Jeez Louise. All right. So Blake, what do you think is just the best way to go out?
Okay, I've thought about this like for a
We've
while.
thought about it for a while. Okay. All right.
Okay, so I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons, and it's great fun. All my friends are there. Knock, knock. Someone's at the door. We're not expecting anyone. Who could it be? Boom. I open the door. It's Matthew Mercer from Critical Role. I'm shocked. He asks to play Dungeons and Dragons with us, and I say, yes, of course. We play through the night. When everyone leaves, Matt stays and asks me to roll the dice one last time. I roll a natural 1. He pulls out a sword. I pull out a sword. He chases me outside. It's thunderstorming. Dramatic music starts playing. We somehow end up on the roof. Crackle, flash, lightning. This is the final battle. Parry, parry, thrust. He sinks his sword into my heart, and I have an honorable death.
Wow.
And that's how I would go out.
That's beautiful. That's truly beautiful.
Please, Matthew Mercer, let's have a sword fight.
Matthew, if you're listening, sword fight. Blake, anytime is fine. I'll film it.
Please.
I will film your death. I'll be a little sad, but it'll be pretty dope to catch on camera.
Yes, absolutely. All right, what's your, if you had to go out in one way, what's it going to be?
I definitely want to go out in a fun way. Like, okay, this is a totally realistic scenario. So if you're really creative and you like non-realism, you might tune out for a second. So I'm getting chased by a robot ninja army, and we go up into like a plane or an airship, right? And I'm in the airship and I'm fighting them. And I'm like, oh, where do I go? I'm trapped on this ship with these robot ninjas, and I know they're gonna beat me. At this point, I'm overrun. I've beaten so many of them, but they're just wearing down on me. And we just happen to be flying over Japan. And we happen to be flying right over a bunch of active volcanoes. And I go, well, if I'm gonna go out, I don't want to go out just being beaten to death by robot ninjas. So I just breathe, and I'd just go, it's go time, and I'd press the hatch, and I'd just jump, and then I'd fall into a volcano, and there I would perish, and it would be awesome.
You should write that as a story. That'd be a cool story.
I will. I'll do it. It would be a really extra story.
It would be.
Like,
Can
it would
I
have to be
one of the robot
comedic.
ninjas?
It'd have to be like a Monty Python kind of
Yes.
situation. Yeah, you can be a robot ninja. All right.
What is the farthest you've ever been away from home? I mean, we kind of touched on this a little bit earlier.
Yeah,
but-
I mean, the farthest I've ever been is Japan. Before then, I had been to Rwanda in Africa, and I had been to other places around the United States. But this past summer, I was studying abroad in Tokyo, and I was there for about 2 months. It was totally life-changing. Another thing I'd really advocate for any college students listening is that if you have the chance at all during college, you should totally study abroad, because it's really life-changing and it's a great way to see the world. Yeah. What about you, Blake?
A couple years ago for spring break, I went with my family on, I'll call it a missions trip. We went on a missions trip to Israel, Jerusalem specifically, and we got to go around and look at a lot of the historical sites, and it was very, like, cool to see, like, go to the place and read the passage of the Bible and be standing in the place that they're talking about. And it was
Yeah.
so, like, we swam in the Dead Sea, and you're basically, like, a hard-boiled egg in water. Like, you're just awkwardly floating there on the top. And it's like you were, like, forewarned not to touch your mouth, not to touch your eyes, because like the Dead Sea is so polluted with salt that if you just like got any in your mouth, it would just burn like eating a habanero.
Whoa.
And so, other than that, other than Israel, I've been to Jamaica on a missions trip. That was really fun, and then Hawaii.
I want to go to Hawaii.
It's very the
I've
culture.
seen how blue the water is there. That's a bucket list place, as well as Iceland.
Yes.
I really want to go to Iceland and New Zealand for sure. Really, any Australian or Scandinavian area, I'm very interested in.
That's where all the scary animals are.
Yeah, and
What a nerd.
there's also a lot of other countries in Africa I'd like to go to. I think that would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere from like, the roughing it safari kind of areas and places like South Africa. But yeah, I think that would be really cool too. Where would you? Oh, in Canada. Canada. I'd like to go to Canada. I'd like to go to Vancouver. I think it's a cool city. But yeah, where would you like to travel? What are some travel goals for you?
Definitely. Well, I'm gonna mark one of them off this summer. I'm gonna go to Europe with my family. And then I definitely want to go to Japan. I wanted to go so bad in a couple of weeks because it's the Japanese Cherry Blossom Festival.
Oh yeah.
But unfortunately, I have dumb school that says otherwise. Also, money, which is not
money
fun.
is
We should just go places.
money is difficult. I would go on so many trips if plane tickets weren't crazy expensive.
Yeah. Also, Japan tickets are like really expensive right now just because of the fact that like the summer games are going to be there.
Right. I mean, if anybody listening is considering going to Japan,
I
unless
hope.
you're going with like an organization with, they're handling the tickets, I would not take a solo trip because of the Olympics. With an event that big, plane ticket prices are just jacked right now. It's ridiculous.
It is. They're like what, over $1,000 just for one
They're
way?
over $1,000. Yeah, probably one way. I mean, I paid a little over $1,000 when I went, and that was round trip. And round trip tickets right now are $3,000 and up.
Oh my gosh.
So I mean, it's just ridiculously expensive, and that's how it goes for all the Olympics. But it's gonna be a really cool Olympic Games this year.
Oh yeah.
I got to see the Tokyo Dome actually by accident. I was in Tokyo and I was on a train on my way back to the dorm I was staying at, and I was on the train with some friends, and I was like, you know what? I've never heard of this train stop we're at right now, so we're just gonna get off the train. And I love doing that. You just go to so many places you've never heard of and end up exploring some really cool stuff. But there was one time we got off, and literally right outside the station was the Tokyo Dome, and I was like, whoa. And I mean, it's a venue worthy of the Olympic Games, that's for sure. But yeah, I mean,
That's exciting.
it's gonna be good. Tokyo, I'm a little worried about how their transportation system will handle the Olympics because
Dang.
I mean, their train system it's ridiculously
huge.
efficient.
Yeah.
And it's huge, and I think the extra just huge amount of people coming in, like bigger than their normal tourist group, of
I
course.
mean, it might even be faster just to walk.
Yeah, no, I think so. I mean, they're going to have to make some big changes to how their trains run, at least during the games, because of
Yeah.
how many people will be there. Rush hour in Tokyo, as it is now, is crazy. I can't even imagine how it's going to be with everyone there for the Olympics. Nuts. Also, trying to find a place to stay is going to
Oh
be
my
almost
gosh.
impossible.
Wait, don't they have like pod hotels? Like
They
you
do.
can you can rent out like a little cubicle.
Yeah, it's essentially big enough for you to fit your body and some of your stuff. And it's basically a tube.
I love that.
When, you're a city that big that has a lot of tourist attention, you've got to find out some very space efficient housing. So that's kind of what a lot of those have been popping up.
Capsule hotels. That's what
Capsule,
they're called.
yeah.
Capsule hotels.
I would never stay in one. I'm a little too claustrophobic for that. I would sooner sleep on the streets, which is a lot safer in Tokyo than it is in the US.
Really?
Yeah. In fact, Tokyo is one of the safest cities in the world. It's kind of awesome. It's weird walking around at night by yourself and not even being really on edge, because the worst thing that could happen to you is that, somebody will mug you and take your cash. And they're only after your cash for the most part. I mean, it's genuinely a really safe place to stay, which is kind of cool.
Genuinely a safe place to stay gets mugged.
Yeah, but if getting mugged is your biggest concern,
Oh yeah, you're right.
I mean, like, being a woman in America walking by myself at night, I'm always ready to square up because you never know what could happen. But in Tokyo, it's just not like that. It was a breath of fresh air. But yeah, everyone should go to Tokyo, just not this summer. And that's my PSA.
All right, well, this was fun. I enjoyed this.
Yeah.
I look forward to doing more of them in the future.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of episodes on a bunch of different topics. Of course, we'll be nerds in all of them because we're kind of nerds.
Yeah, but nerds have a hard time coming up with ideas. So
Yeah.
if you have ideas, please tell us.
Yeah, submit ideas that you'd like to hear. And otherwise, we're just going to be coming up with some fun, really random podcast topics.
You can go in the About
over.
section of our YouTube channel, and there will be an email there that you can send questions or topics that you'd like us to go over.
Yes, please do that.
All right, yes, and feel free to drop that like and hit the subscribe button.
If you so feel compelled.
Please do it.
Yes, please help. Blake, do you have any closing thoughts for our first episode of What a Nerd?
Just like remember this when we're famous.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Or not.
Bye.
Bye!